For the first time in decades, young men in America are now more religious than young women. And if you spend enough time on TikTok and YouTube, you can actually watch that happen in real time. Young male creators, predominantly in the US, are posting Bible study routines and church outfit checks and clips of themselves deleting dating apps and returning to God. Some are, of course, framing Christianity as self-improvement, and others are framing it as a rebellion against modern culture, kind of like the trad wife aesthetic that we've seen. A lot of this, to me, though, looks a lot less like traditional evangelism's mandate to spread the Christian gospel and more like a mandate to spread the masculinity aesthetic. And the data kind of backs this up. According to Gallup, 42% of 18 to 29-year-old men now say religion is, quote, very important in their lives. That's up sharply from 28% a few years ago. And women of the same age, despite the appearance of a growing trad wife aesthetic, have stayed relatively flat at around 30%. This is a massive reversal. At the start of the 2000s, young women were significantly more religious than young men. Now, young men have overtaken them. And what's especially interesting to me is how religion is being packaged online. Sure, we're talking about the good book, but it reads a lot more like gendered discipline from a male perspective. And that reminds me of philosopher Judith Butler, who wrote that gender performativity is maintained through repetition. Online, you can see that repetition. Certain male creators are posting their gym routine, their Bible study routine, their cold plunge routine, their high-value man rhetoric routine. And masculinity becomes less of an identity and more of this daily performance ritual. Wake up early, lift weights, read scripture, lead your future family, reject porn, reject hookup culture, become a man. What's also interesting is that a lot of this content doesn't just promote religion. It promotes a very specific performance of masculinity with strength and stoicism and leadership and emotional restraint, and the idea that a real man should dominate himself before he can lead others, and he should lead others. It's an illusion of discipline and order on social media. And for a generation raised on social media, especially one immersed in self-help content and hustle culture and fitness influencers in the manosphere, faith is increasingly being reframed as structure. And again, this timing makes sense. Young men really are reporting higher levels of loneliness, fewer close friendships, lower college enrollment, and a growing sense of social drift. The irony, of course, is that religious communities claim to offer freedom from alienation in modern life, while also reviving the very ideas of masculinity that can produce that alienation. Emotional isolation, fear of vulnerability, and the belief that manhood has to constantly be proven. All the while, traditional markers of adulthood, stable job, marriage, homeownership, feel increasingly out of reach because they are. Religion has historically surged during moments of instability and inequality because it offers identity and routine and community. And oftentimes it promises hopes of financial stability too. But young women are still moving in the opposite direction. Gallup found that women aged 18 to 29 are now the least religious female group in the country. And politically, there's also a widening divide. Young men are increasingly likely to lean Republican, while young women are increasingly likely to lean Democratic. Online, those two shifts are colliding. A lot of the new male religious content overlaps with the ideals promoted by the manosphere: traditional gender roles, hierarchy, authority, and the idea that modern society has weakened men. Some creators explicitly frame Christianity as a way to take masculinity back. But I also think reducing this to young men are becoming more conservative misses something deeper. A lot of these creators are gaining followers and making money off of these videos. They also genuinely seem kind of lost and like they're searching for meaning. Because in a world that feels unstable, faith does offer something really powerful. It offers certainty and it offers guidance. And online, it might offer followers and money too.